California Energy Commission has been doing with renewable transmission, and I believe Mr. Horn represents us on that advisory committee, the RETI, Renewable Energy Transmission Initiative, I think it's called.
Yes.
Anyhow, they want to brainstorm a little bit about how to do this on the federal level on the permitting for not only transmission, but some of the actual generation sites. So that's going to be in Moreno Valley at BLM tomorrow. So I will be going up there. I'm not sure who else might be interested, but you know, Supervisor Leimgruber and Chairman Wyatt, you both went to the previous one, so if you're interested, let me know. You mentioned RCRC and the consensus on the transportation issues. Still a little disappointed when they first came out initially with the draft of that about a month ago. I responded back immediately, and I believe Sandag did the next day, that we thought it would be important to include in that consensus that we ought to have again the border infrastructure piece of any future reauthorization, because when you get right down to it, the actual piece that got us to where we were with broader bypass was the fact that we had that border infrastructure program in there. And I didn't get a response back from the individual. He did talk to, or at least I heard from the director of Caltrans District 11 that they did have some more conversation, and that he re-emphasized that he thought that would be an important consideration. So at any rate, we'll continue this issue with the Border Counties Coalition, because the states of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona need to weigh in as well, and they did very well. But it was $100 million that basically Imperial and San Diego didn't have to compete with the rest of the state on things, and so we thought it should be within a statewide recommendation. And at least when they sent me the draft, it just alluded to the fact on goods movement and on international trade, but not specifically to that program. Senate Bill 68, which you passed a letter, was one of those gut and amend bills that you see at the end of the legislature. Only this one, we gutted and amended it, so it's a good gut and amend, I guess. But that's the one that would correct some of the deficiencies with state legislation that caused a technicality that got some of our QSA suits tossed out. It got a little tense yesterday. We were a vote shy after the vote was taken and getting it passed out, because the building industry and the state chamber came in with some objections. Some amendments were taken by the author, and I believe it actually made it a better bill, and Rossman concurs. So anyhow, that bill is out and moving, and probably without opposition from now on. And then tomorrow, the bill that will take care of the cost of living for our older retirees finally will be heard in the Assembly Committee. It looks like it's going to move rather easily. It's just a frustratingly long amount of time to get to a hearing, but they are going to take it up. That's my report.
Thank you, Mr. Ham. Move on to County Executive Officer.
Yes, this past week, Ralph and Jerry and I attended a couple of days with the city managers, with the City County Manager Association, and we had some interesting presentations, including from the Census Bureau, who is, from what I understand, going to be launching a campaign to acquire employees for the census, and they will be hiring, they're now hiring managers. I believe it was about a year from now that they'll be hiring workers. And they pay fairly decent, so that's kind of good news for us. hoping that they do at least a branch office here, although they don't currently see that, but that may be possible.
And the consensus is coming up again. Next, County Council.
I have no report today.
Thank you. Any other departments or agencies?
Jerry, Andy Horn again. Bob alerted me to something that he and I have been tracking. I think that's AB 1451. I think I know why Bob didn't say anything about it, but we probably need to get some feedback on that. So maybe after this meeting, we can sit down with a couple people and talk about what we want to do in regards to that. It has to do with property tax exemptions for utility scale solar projects, and we need to get some direction on that as to what we ought to be doing. When did you say Bob was coming up for vote? Later this week or tomorrow? Tomorrow. Yeah. So we need to get some idea what we want to do. We may have to contact. We want to have you contact folks up at CSAC and RCRC too, because this probably has some implications for some other county.
Up in Inyo and Kern County. San Bernardino.
The other thing I want to mention briefly, Thursday night at 6 o'clock is the Roberta Burns retirement function. As is typical here in the Imperial Valley, last week we had reserved the room for 100 people. We bumped it last week to 120. We bumped it yesterday to 136, and we'll probably blow that. So we appreciate your trying to make our lives miserable by scrambling around and having to go to the store and get some more food.
That's what our job is.
Yeah. And I saw the newspaper even ran a little article this morning about it. So we can accommodate as many as wish to come.
And it seems like every one of these functions that you're involved in is continue to grow. I mean,
I think that's a good thing.
You must be the MC.
Anyway, 6 o'clock.
Thank you. Any other departments or agencies? Mr. Nippens.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, board members, Fred Nippens, County Fire Chief. Give you an update on the 2 strike teams that are out of the county right now. The Type 1 strike team, which is made up of 5 structure engines from County Fire, Raleigh Fire Department, Calexico Fire Department, the City of Yuma, and Holtville. They've been assigned to Madero Staging for the time being. They left at 6 o'clock last night, and they're resting comfortably in Madero Staging today. The Type 3 strike team, which is made up of 5 brush rigs.
By the way, that means at the staging that they'll be awaiting assignment, right?
Right. Type 3 strike teams, which are brush trucks from County Fire, the City of Calipatria, Calipatria State Prison, Pala, and Viejas makes up that strike team. They spent the night in San Bernardino County backfilling stations that were empty. This morning they left for Madero Staging also. Madero Staging is kind of like the staging area for the whole Southern California, Northern California region. It's kind of like in the middle there. They may be dispatched or assigned anywhere, north, south, east, or west from that staging area. It's at the Madero Fairgrounds. Right now they have Region 6, Hilo County, and I think it's Mono County up in Park County, which is still in our region.
Chief, you have all of these expenses reimbursed by the State Office of Emergency Service?
Yes, sir.
Well, most of it comes from the federal government. And
it depends on the type of fire, where the fire is. And
federal land, state land. On fire, there's a lot of details to it. It's where it's at, it's how it was started, and all kinds of issues.
Chief, with the allocation of firefighters in conjunction with the mutual aid responders from the other fire departments within the county and supporting the state effort, 4th of July is coming up next week. And how's that going to impact your use of manpower county-wide? And it's been kind of quiet. We haven't heard from those that complain about the sale of fireworks and what have you, and illegal fireworks and what have you. So what strategic plan do you have in place for next week, or what is it that we need to know so we can respond to the public?
Chief Rohodes is in the process of putting together an operation plan for that date, probably the same one we've used for years. Of course, everybody is not given any time off for the 4th as far as the fire department goes. We've got public announcements out on the radio. They should be starting on TV this week.